Tirana. This is a world where magic comes alive, where people live alongside mystical creatures with magical powers. These creatures are known to all as Mystimon. Some fear these creatures, but others imprint them and call upon them to fight by their side. Mystimon are found all over this world, but this world is under siege by forces from beyond and within. Ghosts, demons, horrific eldritch terrors from beyond this world, and an evil cult worshipping unknowable and terrible beings. Now, an enigmatic group of investigators sets out to stop these incursions and defend the world from the terrors of the void, as they work to end the machinations of a madman in Mystimon Saga: Hidden Archives. Aloha, welcome back to Mystimon Saga, a world like no other where people live alongside mystical creatures and where magic comes alive, under siege by forces beyond and within. This is Mystimon Saga: Hidden Archives, a Pathfinder 2nd edition actual play, where our investigators battle an evil cult and investigate the paranormal and high strangeness all over the world, and technical difficulties. I am your host, GM Seth. I think I am. Anyways, aka Seth R. Mitchell, and I am today once again joined by our players. Take it away,
I'm Elle, and I play Soma, the Alopeke Witch.
Hello, I'm Technical Difficulties, also known as Binary, and I play Bastille, the automaton who used to be Summoner, is now a Necromancer, and Coldromedier, the Gola Guardian.
Hello, I am Shadow, and I'm playing as Rat the Goblorian Rogue and a second mysterious rune smith.
Hello everyone, my name is Twilight, also known as the cat that won't leave Seth alone, and I'll be playing as Ada, the Galvoan Witch Vorpal.
Hello again, I'm Duffy. I'm playing Willow, Wakan Summoner.
For those wondering why they just said again, it's because we've recorded this once.
That was our practice round.
Yeah, rehearsals.
Yeah, we're real professionals here.
Yeah, we have a new setup. Well, you know what happens with the new setup. Things break. So, and at the end of last season, we kind of had another technical difficulty kerfuffle where the player audio wasn't coming through. So, unfortunately, I had to private that episode because it would have been very one-sided because only my audio was coming through, and I'm also dealing with a cat who won't stop running around. And so, to start off, Elle and I together are going to be doing a complete recap of the previous season. And let's see here. We started off, you had traveled to Alrune to deal with a madman named Xulgoth, a serial killer who had apparently decided to start leaving bodies around again in Kalrune. And can't exactly remember where we started off on that one.
I do. We picked up immediately after the cliffhanger from the previous season with Bastille and several others having chased after Xulgoth towards the Magi Guard headquarters, while Soma and our new friend Andrevan a swashbuckler new to the Hidden Archives, chased after Kauai and Ira, who had run into some kind of strange possession troubles back at the ranch. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Ira had run off, and Kauai was looking for her. And Bastille and the others, and I think it was Frederick, and I don't remember who else was there. It was certainly Bastille and Frederick. Were chasing after Xulgoth and encountered him outside of the Magi Guard headquarters, where Bastille questioned him about what he was looking for with the book that he had stolen from some central location previously. And he claimed that he didn't want anything with the book, but his masters did. They were coming. They were already here. And Bastille and Xulgoth said, "Darkness is coming, chaos is encroaching, and you are all going to die." And then something clicked, and Bastille was found hours later with Ryzen and Esther, awoken, slumped against the wall with no memory of how they got there, and Bastille's recorder was damaged. Back at the Hidden Archives, or back at the ranch, Ira, Kauai, Androvan, and Soma had traced Ira to a cliffside, where she was trying to basically end her life because she believed that she was possessed and was going to hurt everybody. With a confrontation combining Kauai and Ira's mother, Luna, who appeared, Kauai and Ira got engaged, and Ira was coaxed down from the cliff. Jumping ahead, we looked into some of the things that Xulgoth had mentioned that Bastille and the others remembered, specifically the Black Aegis, which we learned had to do with the Artifact War. And the Black Aegis was one of the few of the ancient artifacts that had not been stolen and spread around after being locked up in the Magi Guard's vault. The next case that we found after losing track of Xulgoth was the case of the Watcher, a creepy stalker following a family in Emerald Port that had been stalked for years by this entity. From their old house to their new house. So we tracked them there, where we followed up with them, and were attacked by a bunch of cultists. Meanwhile, Crystal and Skinny found a girl, Amiris, who was a scion, who was able to use painting to focus her psionic abilities, and had painted a bunch of paintings of things that she couldn't possibly have known. In the fight with the cult, with the Scions of the Void, who are led by Xulgoth, but Xulgoth wasn't there, Crystal's Magfort was killed.
Unfortunately, it was a very sad day, and Crystal, she kind of went nuts. Understandably, she was in total grief, and so was I at the end of the year.
Yeah. We had found some bones in the wall of the house, and a note that told us, or Crystal had sent us a note via Magfort, that the bones in the wall that we found belonged to Xulgoth's first victim. They were the bones of a young woman who we learned was named, her name, Deirdre. There we go. Who we learned was named Deirdre. We spoke with her bones, and she said
the name of the girl whose bones were on the wall was not Deirdre. It was
Iris. Sorry, Deirdre's bone. That was wasn't Deirdre. Deirdre is the ghost. Okay, sorry. No, Daphne's the ghost. Who's Deirdre?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Well, I invented a character named Deirdre. Edit this out.
No, don't. Leave it in.
I will definitely edit. I will definitely keep it
Ghostar
in.
is Daphne. Deirdre is somebody else. The bones we found in the wall were those of a Quatrican girl named Kairis, who was Xulgoth's childhood friend, and had gifted him a skeleton, which was what had the Mystimon that had evolved into the Skulldoom that he attacked us with. Sorry, I'm skipping some things because I don't want to get into too much detail here. Skipping ahead from that, we did learn that Xulgoth was raised by a man named Henry Corbett, who killed Kairis and stuffed her remains in the wall and then brainwashed Xulgoth to believe that he had murdered her. The Skulldoom is Xulgoth's weakness, and we learned that probably the only way through to him is Kairis. We met Dr. Lorena Gray, a tall woman with long black hair who has been having a really bad year on many, many levels. And she is trying to figure out where her grandfather is, if he's still alive, and what led to him disappearing, because he was doing research into void terrors and the ancient ones before he disappeared. She started experimenting with eldritch rituals on the ranch and eldritch runes, and it was when she was. The first time, all she did was make an explosion, which is where we met Rat, our cowboy Goblurin gunslinger, who arrived with his buddy Duty after hearing about some strange occurrences in the Dark Vault Cavern. Rat discovered that there... What?
Oh, sorry.
What were you saying?
I was saying please don't mention the incident.
It has to be mentioned. It has to be mentioned. There was an incident on the ranch where Rat fired a gun at a rock. The bullet ricocheted and it hit his friend Ron in the arse.
So right on target, honestly.
Sorry, it had to be mentioned. Go on, Elle.
Lorena Gray, we found a strange portal into a hidden temple underwater that Lorena Gray had discovered earlier. Alien ruins found on the bottom of the Depthara Trench, covered in hieroglyphs that are the same as those on the dagger and this pyramid that we learned was buried somewhere on the ranch and contained the essence in some way of this monstrous entity known as Hydora, which was, accidentally released later. Around that time,
or at least an aspect of it.
Rat discovered that our good buddy Bastille is just chock-a-block, wall-to-wall, full of ghosts.
Like a clown
That's one
car
way to put
ghosts
it.
in there. Ghost salesman came by, slapped the hood of Bastille and said, "This baby can fit so many ghosts in him."
Go on, Elle.
We found some paintings from the auction house that would help triangulate the location of the Black Aegis. At this point, we had also met Cole. I'm gonna toss this over to you, Binary, for his full name.
Ultramanir Sirixilfer.
There we go. AKA Cole. And we...
Oh, sorry. I forget it cuts off.
About the dragon.
Ultramanir Sirixilfer.
Oh, right.
It gets cut off in Path on the Foundry. My apologies.
Because it's just too long.
It is. You can blame Seth. He told me make a long name, and I said I bet.
I said make it complex. You decided to make it long.
They are one and the same.
Is that not the same thing?
Okay.
More or less.
Go on, Elle.
Let me skip forward. We learned some things about the Dragon Lords, examining the portraits, and then were led into a strange chamber through... I don't actually remember how we get this. Oh, some underground ruins Through to Ruby Port. We found some underground ruins where Soma learned that she was meant to be the Guardian of Wind, but can't access those powers at this time. Xulgoth appeared and attempted. Only the bad parts. Xulgoth appeared and tried to prevent us from getting to this map that was located at the center of these ruins. But we managed to outwit him to a certain extent, and Bastille was able to commit the map in the hologram to memory. Then it was time for the championship games. Ada and Soma have been, over time, strengthening the wards back at the ranch. This is very important to commit to canon. And in Emerald Port, in Evergreen City, we met Sarah Aerinel, is that her name? And Fleur, and her wife Fleur, what's Fleur's last name?
Do you mind
Fleur
if I
Aurora.
interject for just a moment?
Please.
So when we had seen the map, we were on a rabid hunt for this tablet. I forget all of the connotations of it, but Bastille did also find that tablet, in which they managed to keep secret from Xulgoth thus far.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you.
I do feel like that's an important add-on because of what importance the tablet has.
Thank you. I love it. And Xulgoth was chasing after Soma, who used Deceiver's cloak to transform into Kairos, which he's been doing a lot just to try and get under his skin as much as possible.
He has skin!
We in Evergreen City at the championship games, we have met Sarah Arian's cousin, Aerinel Arian, with whom she has very bad blood. And we also met a council, a person running for a council position, Lady Fiore, who then disappeared in a very unsettling way. And so at the championship games, we have been looking for Lady Fiore, tracking her down. Rat has managed to save the life of an anti-goblin politician who learned absolutely nothing from that experience.
Yes, absolutely nothing.
We have met a host of characters, including Rasha Bardine, who is a Sinelvan spy, and several other characters who have helped us investigate multiple cases, many of which were investigated by the Hidden Archives before, including a girl who was kidnapped and disappeared into the Primal Wood, whose brother has been trying to get people to go after her. I'm going to stop here and let other people, because this has brought us to about late last fall. And I actually want to toss it over to Rat, because I do feel to Shadow to narrate, because I do feel like there has been quite a lot of important plot developments centering around Rat.
Okay. So during the Gobloran politician event, after I think a day or so that happened, a lot of hate crimes on Goblorans happened, and a couple of Goblorans were found out to be out in the woods. So Rat took a couple of his buddies out there, try to save them, brought them back, and then turns out that Goblorans said something like, "Oh, the Yellow King, he's coming!" And
The Yellow King is coming! The Yellow King is coming!
Thank you. Yeah, they were saying that, and Rat thought that it was a good idea to do a charming little lie in order to get them to calm down. He was like, I'm actually the commander of the Yellow King. Just calm down your bloodthirst, and we'll figure this out. And then as soon as he walks outside of the little hideout they're in, got jump scared by a little fellow in a yellow cloak. The yellow cloak fellow said something akin to, why do you call yourself the commander of the Yellow King? And Rat, being the ever-charming liar he is, he's like, well, that's because I am the commander of the Yellow King. I'm his right-hand man, yeah. And then the yellow...
quote-unquote idiot.
Yeah. It was a smart idea at the time, but then again, actions have consequences. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
All actions have consequences.
And then this yellow-robed individual said, and then nodded, and then just left. Then Rat got marked. Turns out that mark is of Hastor, and now Rat is constantly seeing the Yellow King's apparition. He is not going crazy. He is a perfectly sane individual.
In his eyes, he is. So, when we last left our investigators, Soma had uncovered some pieces of Guoi's past, and that brought the party to investigating the Niven, a ship that was docked at Evergreen City that had actually been built with some of the remnants of the ship that Guoi was on when it capsized, when it sunk. And that led us to finding out all about Guoi's past. As it would turn out, Guoi was actually born on, let me see if I can actually find it. Guoi was born on the 12th of Kiloron, 2721. That's her birthday. And her mother's name was Anella, and her father's name was Hermie. And they had left on that fateful trip, that fateful voyage across the seas, when Guoi was 7 years old. And it would turn out that Guoi was, as a naive little girl at that age, she was manipulated by a man who made her think that he was her friend. And she started the fire that sunk that ship, because she was manipulated by this psychopath who had turned out to be Xulgoth. And I have a cat that is literally climbing the walls. So, Elle, do you want to finish off this recap?
Yeah, we had also encountered Xulgoth, several of Xulgoth's projection clones, that we were then able to track the traces of him back towards the Primal Woods, learning that Xulgoth's actual central body is probably, basically, exactly where the Primal Witch lives, in the Primal Wood. And at the same time, or, along with all of this, Crystal managed to bond with Flamdrone. Drone. Flamdrone. Sorry. And we managed to connect Guoi back with her ghostly mother. And then there was another murder.
Another
murder. And we launched the first season of the wildly successful police procedural Rasha Bardeen is on the Scene. Diana Reese, an old character from previous seasons, showed up because she needs Crystal's help. Aerinel's coach was murdered, and Aerinel is a suspect. But we don't really think that Xulgoth is a suspect, because the coach was killed via blunt force trauma, like some kind of giant club. And Willow was able to identify that within the pool of blood, there was these tiny dried leaves that leave a yellow residue, and are an Olympian poison oak nightshade, which can be brewed into a poisonous tree, and have a particularly potent cross-reaction with coffee that creates a lethal poisonous vapor. So we tracked down, we also found a note in Golan clutched in this guy's hand, and something about a valemdrone. which is a crystalline device invented at Everglade College. We found some coffee shops and found some tea that had been messed with. And talking to Floor, we did learn that the valemdrone is a device that can teleport consciousness into the dreamlands, and with modifications, could teleport the body as well. And Shadow had this theory, which I am in full agreement with, I think, is that Xulgoth is using the valemdrone for something. But here is one: we've been spending all of this time chasing down shadow gates, thinking that that was what was used to yoink Lady Fiore into the dreamlands, when here is another possibility. Especially considering that Xulgoth is a dreamwalker just like Kauai.
Yep. And that's where we pick up in this new season, season 12.
Yippee! Yeah! Woo!
Who can believe it? Season 12. So, we pick up. Now it is the next day after you've had a bit of a conversation with Floor about the valemdrones, who told you that they are a college invention. I'm not technically supposed to talk about it, but since we're friends, I'll tell you. And she just said, just don't tell anyone. I told you. She said that valemdrones are also known as dream crystals, and were invented as part of some experiments into the dreamlands. They were trying to figure out if they could collect energy or mystia from the dreamlands. And that didn't quite work out the way they intended. Instead, it trapped a person's consciousness in the dreamlands, and there was a huge controversy about it. The scientist who created the dream crystals was fired unceremoniously, and all of the dream crystals he had created were put into the archives and were supposed to have been destroyed. But maybe that wasn't exactly the case. Maybe one of them survived. And now it is the next day. You're trying to figure out, did one of the valemdrones actually survive? Or did more of them survive, perhaps? You're also trying to figure out who would have motive to murder Aerinel's coach. Everyone, take it away.
Just like gathered around the next morning. I think we're still staying at that same
the Wilted
inn.
Tree. Yeah, the Wilted Tree.
Outside, slightly outside of the city. And just like in the breakfast area at the beginning. I think like Soma, sitting with everybody, just kind of looks up and says, I think the thing that bothers me the most is that it seems like overkill. The tea, from what you were saying, the tea was poisonous enough. They might have just had to wait, but somebody wanted him really, really dead.
Well, the way I see it, there's probably two outcomes. One, that's probably a way to get the real cause of death out, like mixed up. Or two, whoever killed that guy must have really hated him. And I mean like with a burning passion, because you just don't poison someone and then you whack their body. Now that's personal.
Do we have access to the body?
Yes, I do.
Would we like to talk to the body?
What? That's gonna look up.
From what I remember of seeing the body, did he have enough jaw left to talk?
No.
I'm gonna look up at Bastille and go, do you mean communicating with his spirit or with the body? Because there wasn't a lot of face left.
That would affect his ability to reply. Would we like to see his death?
That might actually help.
That could be helpful.
Shall I do it here or elsewhere?
Looking around at all of the other people eating breakfast, let's go upstairs.
Do it elsewhere.
I was have to just have him do it right now.
Yeah, let's just find a private little room. Let's do.
Go somewhere more private.
Do an autopsy too.
What is this guy's name again?
Jim something?
Let me bring that up. His name was...
No problem, voice in my head.
Magfort.
Oh, you get those too?
His name was Magfort.
Wait, Magfort, right, because I kept calling him Magvor. And Willow had already successfully determined that he died from blunt force trauma between 6:45 a.m. and 7 a.m. It was very specific.
Oh?
So we do know how he died, but if we can see who killed him, that's great.
Well, we won't see that, but I will still cast,
Yeah, that would be too easy.
While naming out the violent event of the murder of Magfort, the spell Ghostly Tragedy.
Ghostly Tragedy, what does that do? Let's see. This spell compels local spirits to reenact a violent event of the recent past that you're aware of and name as you cast the spell. Okay, so you'll have to go back to the scene of the crime in order to cast this.
No. It doesn't say you have to be at the location.
No, it doesn't.
60-foot emanation, yes, it does.
Do we know
60-foot emanation has to be at the crime scene.
Do we know where the crime scene
I think
Yes, you
that's
would.
just like how far out the ghost can go from beyond where you are, because you're taking the part of the victim.
It says local spirits in that 60-foot emanation.
Yeah. So, like, you know.
Yeah,
They're at the
it
crime
just
scene.
grabs some local spirits. It doesn't need specific spirits from that area. It's
Yeah,
just
it just
compelling
says
Jim Bob
says
that
a-
died in the hotel next door.
Yeah, a
you have
violent
to-
event of the recent past that you're aware of and name as you cast the spell. You don't have to be at the location where it occurred.
Yeah, apologies, but not to be a bit of a rules lawyer, you have to look at area 60-foot emanation. That area usually that means that's the spell's like direct like length and not length, but the area.
Yeah, it's the emanation
so like, it
from
would be
Bastille.
60. Exactly. We would see everything that occurred within the final 9 minutes leading up to the death or injury of the victim and the minute after within a 60-foot emanation from Bastille. But see, it says spiritual forms of missing creatures necessary for the event manifest as needed, and missing items appear as shadowy outlines.
Which implies you don't need to be at the location.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it basically makes the scene, but
Could be used as a bit of a
Is this a focus power?
definitive.
No, this is just a spell. Ghost of Tragedy.
oh,
New spell,
It's just a spell I saw on the spirit spell list, so I was like, oh, that's fun.
4th rank spell.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so once the
And we
seed
do
ends,
know
you
the
take
spell always
2d6
has a
void
little
damage.
buddy.
You take 2d6 void damage for each ghostly apparition that participated in the scene.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna kill one of my. I'm gonna summon a thrall, and then I kill the thrall with one of my focus points for muscle barrier, and I have 60 temporary hit points.
Oh.
well,
So I'll be fine.
Okay, so
Double
You-
check something.
you cast Ghostly Tragedy. You're reenacting the violent event of this the recent past that you were aware of. You're aware of Magfort's murder. You're aware that he was murdered by blunt force trauma by some kind of club or something, and you can't exactly see faces because that would be too easy. So they're like shadowy forms of the perpetrators and the persons involved in the crime. And one of the shadowy forms is actually a big, tall fellow and kind of looks like he has big muscles. And he's carrying what looks like a club. And you see them arguing about something. And then the big, muscular fellow raises the club and smashes him over the head as he was walking away. And he just continues smashing him and smashing him. And that is when it ends.
unfortunate way to die.
Did it seem like he had any issue getting up to walk away, considering we had previously thought he was poisoned?
No. He was completely and totally dead after being
Wow.
smashed to bits with that club.
No, I understand he was totally dead after the club. I'm talking about before the club. When he got up to walk, did he have like any
And
stumble
anyone
to him or
else
anything because
seems
we had thought
or-
he'd been poisoned?
Okay. Can anyone else see
Yeah,
this? or
it
just
looks like
Pathfinder?
he's kind of wobbly there for a minute, and he's kind of leaning on the dummy for support, and that's when this big muscular fellow walks in.
Were there any others present?
No, but you can tell from what you could see of this big muscular form, you can tell it's not Aerinel. Aerinel is much smaller than this.
Well, I will point out, because we were rules lawyering with you earlier, the spirits don't change form, so this doesn't help determine perpetrators by their looks. So for all we know, this muscular guy is just like a dead muscle man who died in this hotel.
He kept smashing his head. Wouldn't that mean they knew each other? Because you wouldn't keep hitting it unless.
Yeah,
You mean it doesn't sound like a crime of passion? It could be a crime of passion.
Yeah,
But
they
that's
were
up to you.
arguing from what I understand.
Yes, they were arguing before the guy smashed Magfort's head in.
Luckily,
So
there's
when
only
it
one spirit
started-
involved.
So when it started, the 9 minutes we were watching, they were just arguing? Or was Magfort doing something and the person who killed him showed up?
The final 9 minutes leading up to the death or injury of the victim, and the minute after, they were just arguing throughout that whole 9 minutes.
So when it started, the guy was already there.
Yeah, this was a
When it
heated
started,
combo.
Magfort was stumbling from the poison and everything, and then then this guy walked in about a couple of minutes later.
Okay. And when he walked in, could we tell what direction he was walking in from?
From what you could tell, he was walking in from the direction of the entrance to this arena.
Okay.
It really doesn't give much because from what I remember, during this, the championship game was going on, correct?
I mean, this was 6:45 a.m. or thereabouts.
Yeah, but don't they have to get everything prepared, like stands, go out there, concessions and stuff like that?
Actually, a good point. How early do we know that the arena is active? That people are at the arena?
Well, you know that Aerinel goes in and starts training really early in the morning, roughly around 5-6 a.m. in the morning. That's Aerinel. You couldn't really tell for anyone else.
Yeah. So it is a plausible theory that probably is not. It could be a warrior in the championship games, or it could be just a really eager fan.
Or a coworker, it could be anybody, but probably somebody who knew Magfort personally.
Yeah, considering the gruesome nature of the murder.
Yes.
Watching all of this, I do have to wonder if the person who poisoned him was different than the person who killed him.
Or maybe he was just an unfortunate victim of circumstances. Maybe he wasn't the original target.
You think they might have been going after perhaps Aerinel?
Could be. But then again, that was very hard to pinpoint and prove correctly. So it's just a red herring theory.
Yeah, if they were going after Aerinel, then that opens the question of, okay, who did Aerinel piss off this time? Because that could be any number of people, because from what you know of Aerinel, she tends to rub people the wrong way.
Yeah. From the little interactions I've had character-wise with her, she's a little bit of a meanie head.
She's a bit edgy.
I will say that after watching this, and also at this point kind of watching Bastille having taken, yes, admittedly, to the bonus, the temp HP, but just a lot of gruesome void damage from that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think since there's only one spirit, I just take 2d6 void damage.
Yeah, there you go. Is Coldra here?
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Cool. I think I kind of will turn to Coldra and say, I I think you're right about this one too. It really doesn't seem like it has that much to do with anything else we've been looking into. This seems like a regular murder that we should just let the local authorities look into.
I'm sorry, but don't we get paid to solve stuff like this?
Not really like this. This just seems like some guy was angry and killed another guy. We look at weird shit.
Okay, I was under the impression this was like a detective agency that solves crimes. I didn't realize you guys were some sort of mystery gang.
Yeah, that's why we're called the Hidden Archives.
There is the question of the poison, poison, and then there's the question of my cat clawing up the walls.
That I can't do anything about.
Then there's also the question of the valemdrone. That's
a different.
Why was all of that written on that paper in Magfort's hand?
That was in his hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems to be connected.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be connected to his death. I do think this is connected to that coffee shop, and we should go back there. I think.
Maybe it's connected to why they were arguing.
Possible.
I mean, it could be possible, but we shaked off as much as we could information-wise out of those folks. Seems like they weren't really willing to talk.
We did, but we haven't followed up on what we learned from them.
Well,
I'm just worried that we pushed them.
People who don't want to talk usually are hiding something.
That is true, but we pushed a liar direct into a corner. They might lash out.
Well, but what I'm saying is we know the name of the people who supply them, so let's go talk to them.
Fair point.
I'm not saying going back to Shapiro and Daisy, or actually, we should be looking for Daisy. That's who we should be looking for.
Daisy, the gobbler and that was supposed to be working there, but wasn't there for some reason.
Yeah, from Oakenvale Cafe, we have we know Daisy, who was supposed to work yesterday and wasn't in there, and we know Elviro, a caravan that goes through the Cinder Peaks and is their tea supplier.
So we have two routes to investigate, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Should we do the good old split up action, or should we all gather our brains together?
As I think you know what happened last time we tried to split the party.
It went great. Rat ended up with a little buddy.
Recommend splitting up.
Oh, you see that too? I mean, what?
No, I meant the last time. I'm pretty sure the last time we split up was when some of us went into the primal woods.
Yeah.
And Rat got a little ghost buddy.
That's what he was referring to. He was asking if you see it too.
No, I thought he was asking about the guy in the cloak. The yellow hallucination.
Yeah, that's his best buddy.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of which, as you were watching that whole scene unfold, Rat, you kept seeing that cloaked figure hanging around. It kind of looked to you like he was part of the scene.
I'm gonna do this cheeky little thing. Let's see. Oh,
that's a fail.
No.
Yeah, he's breaks out into cold sweat. And he's just gonna, like, during this scene, he's like, you don't say that anything strange, right?
Ultra will slowly reach for his weapon. What do you see?
Nothing. Just just something. No, I see nothing. Oh my goodness gracious!
I wouldn't trust.
That didn't turn out well.
It's like, out of the auto, lad, I think your dice are just close to land on falls for this session.
Yeah, that was part of that was one of the mods I installed.
They'll always give Shadow 4 mod. I see.
The Shadow 4 Wat mod.
Yeah, I'm assuming that does not be your will DC, Kuldra.
Let's see. What is Kuldra's will DC? Kuldra's will DC is 30.
Yep.
So no.
Yeah, that definitely fails. I think that's a crit fail.
It's almost a crit fail.
Almost.
You will squint his eyes and slowly lower down, looming over him. What is it you are seeing?
You know, you're very, very intimidating when you want to be. You know that?
Answer the question.
You see, fine. Guess I'm not as good as a liar as I thought.
You are terrible at it.
You're not wrong. So, I'll just long story short, what I went off to save my kid, I said something that I shouldn't have said, and now I see a yellow cloak individual. I thought you guys would see them too, but turns out only I see them now. So I don't know what's going on with that.
You might want to get that checked out.
How much was relayed to us regarding the Yellow King stuff for reference?
What?
How much was relayed to us previously regarding the stuff with the Yellow King and the other goblins?
How much of that was relayed?
Thanks to Cauldra being a little bit of a twisting rat's arm a little bit, he will probably spill the entire everything.
Got it. Okay.
So the thing that drove the others insane is in your mind.
Yeah. So far, I think I have it under control.
I
haven't.
Seeing them in the corner whenever you're not particularly looking is under control.
I mean, to be fair, I haven't put out my gun and shot anybody.
That is good.
Nay.
What about the library?
Okay, that one time I didn't shoot a person. I just shot knowledge, but knowledge is useless.
Knowledge is not useless.
But you almost pulled your gun and shot someone.
You do make a good point there. But so far, I have it under control. Barely, but I have it under control.
Which is debatable.
That is debatable.
Can
Very debatable.
Is there something? Can I try? Is there something that I can do to just like identify what it is that is afflicting Rat?
You ask a rat to take off his clothes. He actually has a mark of Hastor on his body. I
don't know that. Has he mentioned
like I
that?
said, he mentioned
know?
everything. Yeah. Seth told me
he is broken down by the threatening gaze of Culture.
Yeah, all because of that fail.
Can you
show us this mark?
Didn't realize you were into me like that, but sure. He chuckles as he takes off his clothes and shows off the mark on his body.
Where is the mark?
It's on his back.
back?
Okay.
I think I want to be proud of that.
Sure, you didn't need to fully take it off.
Wear a shirt.
Yes.
I would be warned. This one's a tricky one.
Is there any sort of check we can make to see if we can know of or think of any ways to deal with the sword issue?
You could try making an occultism check. You
Well,
could try, or you could also do some research into it.
Well,
Try an occultism check while we're here.
So I'm wondering.
Oh dear.
Oh,
this help?
no. I highly do not recommend that. But hey, if you want to make a mistake, go ahead.
Hey, my other option was web of eyes, which would let me see what you see.
Oh.
I don't
that
think you want to
sounds
see that
worse.
either.
no.
I don't want to see that.
No, hopefully.
So when you do this, you see his aura as completely black, but also writhing tentacles. So it's very creepy. It's very disturbing.
What do you see?
It's like his aura has been corrupted in some way. I'm seeing tentacles that are not dissimilar from those that I think Crystal and Ira and Kauai and some of the rest of us have seen in our dreams.
I would suggest
On the making an
look
occult,
into it more research.
on the making an occultism check, is that just flat occultism, or would this be like considered a recall knowledge?
This will be considered a recall knowledge.
Okay.
Is
You
this
could-
perhaps a recall knowledge related to a magical effect that twists minds?
No.
Would it help to take the -2 penalty because
I mean, it could be a magical effect, but it's
I'm wondering if
So-
oddity identification comes into play.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
This is
You know
odd.
what? Go ahead and go for it, El. go ahead and go for it.
And I was asking in regards to potentially diverse lore, in which I can take a -2 penalty for esoteric lore about any topic.
You can go ahead and try that.
Cool.
Man, I was hoping with deception would work.
Oh no.
Uh,
I look up and say,
do you want to spend a
It's
story point
Kronos.
on that?
I don't have any.
But can I?
'Cause I only
can
get
Willow
mythic
like
points
assist
now.
them because they're, or would they have to do that first?
You could.
Normally,
You do actually start with 1 story point each. Everyone does.
Willow is
Ah.
pretty
But I
good.
don't have story points anymore, Seth.
Willow has.
Remember?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Willow has pretty good at competition.
you have to declare your aiding before the roll's done,
Oh.
sadly.
We
Okay.
ruled that we ruled that
Oh.
you still have story points.
Oh, did we? I thought mythic points replaced them.
No, we ruled that you keep story points. They're kind of merged together for you.
What?
So
I'll go ahead and roll for gold
you want to
draw.
re-roll that?
And yes, I will roll
Oh.
one to
Shit!
Well,
Nice.
nice.
38 with a critical success, 20 on the die. 35 from Soma, and 34 from Bastille. But Coldra is the star here with a 20 on the die. This was a very, very, very hard DC because these are like unknowable things. These are like
Turns out the
unknowable
Golem got
things
some
because you're
weird
dealing
books.
with eldritch beings here, right? You're dealing with Haster. And
It makes sense. Kola looked at Cthulhu and didn't go insane.
so so Coldra, where would Coldra have learned about these eldritch things? Where
I mean,
might
I
he have heard
imagine
about that?
I imagine the Gola got some weird books.
They
and-
probably do, yes.
And based on his history, he probably had access to a more limited supply of tomes.
So what you know is that Rat is basically effed.
Oh.
He is cursed. He is cursed by Haster, and at the same time, you think he also has some latent abilities coming in.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Because he is apparently now Haster's champion.
Oh,
Whoa!
what?
Remember, Rat is now apparently Haster's champion. So, so
Do
what
I-
is Rat's calling?
All the
Oh.
mythic callings
Oh.
are essentially stuff that does. So I decided it would be funny to get Handler's Calling, which is all about training animals. So essentially get an army of Mystimon.
Oh,
Okay, so you have Handler's Calling. You have an instinctive urge to care for wild creatures. When you attempt a check to command a Mystimon, you can spend a mythic point, or story point in this case, to attempt the check at mythic proficiency. The first time each day that you critically succeed on a check to make an impression on a wild Mystimon or command a Mystimon who isn't your pet or companion, you regain a mythic point. Your edicts are care for dangerous Mystimon or beasts in need, respect the habitats of wild creatures. An anathema to initiate combat against a Mystimon or beast encountered in its natural environment. Kill a Mystimon or beast when sparing it is a viable option. So,
I hope you don't
and
kill
Soma,
Mystimon from the
what is
Willow.
your mythic
They would not
calling?
be happy about that.
Since Soma is
Mine
the guardian of
is-
wind.
Mine is Caretaker's Calling, a deep-seated drive or divine directive to care for others.
How many are
My
there?
power might one day grow to allow me to heal an unimaginable wound.
Nice. So, as people might have heard, we have now rebuilt our characters for the remaster. And as part of that, a couple of people decided to change their class. Bastille has been rebuilt now as a necromancer, one of the playtest classes, and Ada has rebuilt as a witch warper, one of the playtest classes from Starfinder 2nd Edition, which we're now allowing into the game. But what about the Runesmith?
The runesmith.
What about the Runesmith?
Let's see.
We will see. So, after having a good long conversation about this case, what do you decide to do? What do you all decide to do?
First, regarding the info at hand, Cole's just gonna like slowly lower his hand down onto Rat's very small shoulder.
I have unfortunate news for you. You will inevitably go insane, as you have been chosen to be the champion of the Yellow King.
Congratulations.
That can't be true, right? That was just a lie, right?
I
That was just a lie.
he admired your audacity.
No, that was just a lie. That's not true, right? Lies, they're never come true, right?
I assume with that nat 20, I have no idea how one would reverse this.
You think it might be possible, but you have no idea how.
I assume best guess is get the Yellow King to want someone else more as their champion.
Maybe. That's your best guess.
The only thing I can think of is if we find somebody else to have more audacity than you.
Wait, but if we do that, that means another person, but no,
Correct.
this can't be. He's actively like freaking out. I
have something for this.
I gotta get out of here. Anybody?
Even in your vision, running will not help.
No, I can. No, wait. It's not real, right? It's not. He's actively freaking out. He's like pulling at an invisible shirt.
Can we just knock him out?
Soma
Slowly reaching for a weapon.
Soma reaches out and just like grabs Rat's cheeks and just like holds his head really firmly and just stares at him and like breathes very slowly, like helping him regulate his breathing down. And then slowly just like begins to release the pressure as he hopefully starts to come out of the panic attack.
Well, they're doing that. Willow would just be whispering to like Iggy to keep an eye on him, basically. Be like, I want you to watch. We don't know what he might do. I suggest we investigate one of these leads.
Yeah. Thanks for the help there, Selma. I appreciate it. Sorry about everyone here. Sorry about losing my cool there.
Okay.
All right, this is absolutely something to lose your cool over. But we can...
Rat
once we wrap up
and
here,
Soma
we can
both
go
can have a
figure
story
out.
point.
Aw.
We'll find a way to break your curse.
Perhaps if you die, it will
No.
remove it, and then I can revive you.
I mean, that's one option that we will keep on the back burner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna stay silent about that.
Just know that if you try anything, I'm not afraid to use my club to knock you out.
Listen, and I will definitely try my best to not harm an innocent or any one of you. And if I do, I will hurt myself instead.
What, they're not innocent?
I mean, they're relatively, figuratively, they're friends.
Killed people.
He thinks, yeah, but they're his friends.
Who here
so
hasn't?
they're cool.
Who here hasn't killed someone?
I don't think Willow has.
I don't think I have killed anyone. I've
Yet.
been in the wood the
I
whole
don't think Toldra has yet.
Yet.
At least in game time he's been around. Like the only thing he's really fought was the Hydra god.
Aspect. Yeah, the
aspect.
This has been a production of Mystimon Saga Studios. Mystimon Saga is copyrighted 1995 to 2025 by Sethra Mitchell and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike. The theme music used in this production is Shattered Glass by CJBeards. It is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. Ambience and other music used in this production was provided by Tabletop Audio and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, Non-Derivatives. Pathfinder's 2nd edition role-playing game is written and distributed by Paizo. If you would like to learn more about Mystimon Saga, visit world.mystimonsaga.com.